New Caledonia's nickel industry is again facing a crisis, with the main shareholder in one of the territory's three mines threatening to pull its funding. Swiss-based mining company Glencore says it intends to stop financing the Koniambo nickel operation in the northern province by the end of February 2024 if a new financing solution isn't found. This comes after the French government's finance ministry last month released an alarming report of New Caledonia's nickel industry, stressing the need for a major reform of the sector. Patrick de Cloyter on RNZ's French Pacific desk has been following developments. He spoke with Koroi Hawkins.
Nickel industry in New Caledonia has always been a controversial subject, even though it's also providing a lot of wealth for New Caledonia, because New Caledonia is the fifth world nickel producer. It's obviously not negligible. Now, the most recent development that we've seen on the nickel front in New Caledonia is that for at least one of its plants and mines, which is the Koniambo mine in New Caledonia's north of the main island, the current major stakeholder and financier, which is an Anglo-Swiss company, Glencore, and it owns about 49% of the capital. And it said that it intends to stop financing that plant, the operations, at the end of February 2024, if no financing solution is found. What you have to bear in mind is that Koniambo and the company that operates it has never really been profitable. It was put into service in 2014, but it's never been profitable. It employs about 1,300 employees, and the accumulated debt to date is something of about $14 billion US. Even on the past 2 years only, the losses were about $2 billion US. So the big question now is whether the company will be allowed to continue operation. The company says it has the funds to keep it running for the next 5 months, and the company in New Caledonia is always also maintaining that it's already started necessary reforms to make it more cost efficient.
Obviously, we saw a crisis in the nickel sector in New Caledonia with the downturn in resource prices, but this has now seen a change in terms of the demand, as you say, for e-vehicle batteries and that. So that on the commodity side of things, it's looking good. But what is this?
So that's the paradox of the situation of the nickel in New Caledonia, because the world situation is very favorable to there is a higher and higher demand for nickel on the world scene, with car constructors doing that transition to electric vehicles. So they need a lot of those batteries, and one of the main components of these batteries is nickel. But there was a report, like an audit, that came out on the 1st of August by the French government and its finance department about nickel in New Caledonia. And that assessment actually came out just about the same time as French President Macron was in New Caledonia. And it basically said that for all those companies operating in New Caledonia, the situation was not really satisfactory, not good. The production was not adapted to those emerging markets we were just talking about. There was not enough competitiveness, and there was also a high cost of labor, and those industries were actually not energy efficient.
And so in terms of next steps on this current situation, it'll be more toing and froing between the French government, the company, and stakeholders. Is that where we're sitting right now?
There will be some developments very soon, in fact, Koroi, because if we listen to the company, Glencore, this major financier, they will meet very shortly with their shareholders, like at the middle of October, to decide what to do with Koniambo. And one possibility that they're already contemplating is to, so to speak, snooze the production, put it in pause for an unspecified duration, but then that again has to be endorsed by this shareholders meeting. And a more radical scenario would be that they decide altogether that Glencore completely withdraws from Koniambo and they sell the shares. I don't think it's very likely because in the view of the current nickel market condition on a global basis, no company wants to get rid of this kind of resources.
Thank you, Patrick. Thank you so much for your time.
Okay, Koray.
Okay. Ale.
Ale, tata.